What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Chuds BBQ. My name is Bradley Robinson, and today I'm going to show you how to make these beautiful, delicious, plump, juicy jalapeno popper sausages. Coming up! If you've seen any of my other sausage making videos, you'll know that making fun, creative sausages has been a part of my life for a real long time. One of my favorite sausages I ever made was back in the early days of Leroy and Lewis when I used to make the jalapeno popper sausage, which is basically a jalapeno cheese sausage studded with bacon. And what doesn't sound good about that? So, that being said, that's what we're gonna make today, and it's going to be delicious. This is some beef brisket. Like I'm always saying in every brisket video, you always want to save your trimming because it can be used for making tallow, making burgers, making chili, or making beef sausage, which is what we're gonna make today. So because my freezer was starting to fill up, I went through and I pulled out all my brisket trim, went through and separated all the fat from all of the lean meat. So I've got these fat cubes and all of this lean brisket. That way I could get the proper ratio of fat to meat, which ended up being 9 pounds of beef and 3 pounds of fat. And as you can see, it's already on cure, meaning I put all the salts and seasoning in last night. So let's go to last night and see what I put in here. For our seasoning mixture for this sausage, we're gonna go in with some kosher salt, some black pepper, some pink curing salt, some granulated garlic, some mustard powder, some paprika, and for a little extra kick, a little bit of cayenne. And we're just gonna mix that right on up. And now, simply enough, we are just going to get this all evenly incorporated. And that is looking pretty good to me. So in the fridge this goes to cure overnight. The main benefit of doing an overnight cure is all that salt is really gonna start to penetrate the meat. All those spices are gonna hydrate and all the flavors are really gonna develop, as well as that pink salt is gonna cure the meat, giving us a much better texture for grinding, as well as adding that cured sausage flavor that we all know and love. It's not a completely necessary step to do this overnight. In the last few sausage videos, I've done it all in one day, but whenever you have the chance, I highly recommend doing an overnight cure because it really does help out. But one thing I didn't add last night was our binder. So we're gonna go ahead and add that right now. This is just a milk powder. We use this all the time in sausage making. Helps retain moisture and give us a really tight bind. And the reason I didn't add this last night is because it tends to hydrate and get kind of gummy if you do it with the overnight cure, which is fine, works out well. It's just a lot more messy and it doesn't grind up nearly as precisely. So we're gonna add it now and then we're gonna send it through the grinder. You know the drill from here, folks. We're just gonna send this right on through. And our liquid today is gonna be in the form of ice, just to make sure everything stays nice and cold, while adding a liquid component, which is gonna make sure everything is nice and juicy. Hydrates all those spices, makes up for any water loss we may have in the cooking process. And I'm also gonna periodically toss in a jalapeno. If you wanted this real mild, you could de-seed them. I'm just gonna go in with whole ones today, because I'm kinda in the mood for a spicy sausage. And I went all beef on this sausage, but this would also make a great all pork sausage or a pork and beef combination. And the spices I used are pretty optional. You could just use salt and let the bacon and the cheese speak for itself, but I added some extra flavors like the garlic and the mustard. But that's where you can get real creative too. Oh, how you doing? And there we have it, a whole bunch of ground up sausage. As for our bacon, I went ahead and crisped up a whole bunch, maybe a little too much, of some thick cut bacon. I'm just gonna break this into little bite-sized pieces. And you really wanna go extra crispy on this so it maintains a little bit of bacony crunch in the sausage. Past times I've made this, I've bought slab bacon or made slab bacon, which is just, you know, unsliced bacon, and then you can cube it up, which works out really well, gives you a nice little studded effect. But I couldn't find any slab bacon and I didn't have enough foresight to make my own, and I figured most of y'all wouldn't either. So today, we're gonna just go with some nice crispy bacon. I've eaten too much bacon today. Well, bam! All right, now it's time to mix this all up. We've got our jalapeno, we've got our seasoning, we've got our mix. Now we're gonna add in our cheese. And I'm going in with about a half cup each of high temp cheddar and high temp mozzarella. The mozzarella is gonna kind of mimic the cream cheese and give us some really nice flavor. And you know the drill. We're gonna go in and mix the hell right out of it, get that meat nice and tacky, make sure the cheese is evenly incorporated. Smelling good though. And after a couple minutes of mixing, we got some decent tackiness going on. Starting to hold together. Still needs a little bit more, but now we're gonna go in with our bacon. I wanted to wait a little bit later just because I don't want to crush it up too much. I'm thinking we're gonna go in with a lot of bacon today. Oh yes. Gonna kind of fold it in a little bit. Make sure it's evenly dispersed. And then it'll be time to case this up. And remember, it's always a good idea to make a little test patty to make sure everything is tasting right where you want it to be. And also, a jalapeno popper burger sounds pretty good right about now. time to get to stuffing. By the way, that little taste test patty there was phenomenal. Nice and spicy, nice and cheesy, nice and bacony. I'm definitely gonna do another episode where we make the perfect jalapeno popper smash burger, because whew, that was good. Ooh. So just like every other sausage video, got some natural hog casings here, and we're just gonna go ahead and link these up. Make them as big or as small as you like. Gotta love that noise. Also, pro tip, don't rest your sausage equipment on top of a hot griddle. So name of the game here, as always, is as plump as possible. I like to take it nice and slow, especially on a smaller batch like this, and really make sure there's no air pockets in there. And we want these casings as taut as they can be before popping. That way we're gonna end up with a really nice snappy casing. Nothing's gonna get too wrinkly on us. And our sausages will all be nice and plump. And you can go rope style, where you make one big rope, go through and twist them all. That method is much faster, but this method yields a much superior sausage because you're gonna get a lot of air pockets if you do it the other way, which is fine. You're gonna have to go through and prick all your casings, and you're not gonna have the same consistency. Prick. So whenever I'm doing a backyard batch like this is how I like to do it. But if I had to do like 50 or 100 pounds, yeah, I'd probably do the rope and link technique. And there we have it, a whole bunch of beautiful, nice, plump jalapeno popper sausages. I think it's time to fire up the smoker. Ain't no damn boot snakes getting me today. Shout out to Sear Pro. Thank you for sending me this awesome blowtorch. No more snakes in my boot. In an ideal world, I would leave these uncovered in the fridge overnight to help that casing dry out a bit. But I found that having a little fan blowing on them while we're waiting for the fire to get going just for a few minutes can really help dry it out. But mostly it dries out those little ends between the links. So when you cut them apart, they're gonna stay together longer. One nice, big, dense, heavy log. On to the pit we go with these beautiful, plump jalapeno popper sausages. We're gonna be smoking these at about 150 degrees for the next 3 to 4 hours. Just trying to get a lot of smoke on them, get that nice color. Again, trying to dry out that skin, which is gonna give us a really nice snappy bite. And the whole purpose of cooking them twice like this is so we can get that really nice smoke penetration without overcooking the sausage. If we were just gonna hot smoke these at, 275, 300 degrees, they'd be done in about 40 minutes, but they'd have no color and they wouldn't have enough flavor from the smoke. So by giving them a nice low and slow smoke, we'll get that color we're after, that flavor we're after, but we're not going to render any of the fat or lose any structural integrity of the link itself. And as for running a fire this low, I just put, a chimney of charcoal in there, which should get this thing right up to 100, 120 degrees. And then through one big, round, dense, pretty green log on there. And that's just going to give us a lot of smoke. And then from there, it's all about controlling your fire, moving it around. If it needs a little extra heat, then you can kind of prop it up to give it a little more airflow. If it's too hot, you can kind of smush it into the coals to let it smolder a little bit, because we're not really too concerned about clean smoke at this point. So on these go for the next few hours, and we will check back in. This video is brought to you by HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit. With thousands of meals and tons of food plans to choose from, HelloFresh has you covered no matter what you're in the mood for. Whether it's meat and veg, vegetarian, quick and easy, HelloFresh has got you covered. And I must say, it's incredibly convenient a few nights a week to have someone else do all the shopping and portion everything else. Because it not only saves time, but it's also incredibly sustainable because it only gives you what you need, as opposed to buying a giant bottle of balsamic vinegar when all you need is this adorable little guy. So cute. Not to mention, almost all the materials used in the packaging for HelloFresh is made from recycled materials for a surprisingly small carbon footprint. And every meal I've had from HelloFresh has been incredibly thought out, well balanced, and absolutely fantastic. I mean, look at that. Beautiful. So if you're in the market for some hassle-free weeknight meals, or if you're new to cooking and you just want a little bit of help learning the basics, head over to HelloFresh.com, use promo code ChudsBBQ14 at checkout to get 14 free meals. So that's HelloFresh.com, promo code ChudsBBQ14 for 14 free meals. Thank you, HelloFresh. We're about 3 hours into this cook, and these links are looking nice and red, feeling nice and plump. I'm gonna go ahead and give them a flip for the last hour, just to make sure we get even coverage, although we're pretty good looking already. Feeling real nice, smelling good, nice and smoky, pretty clean too. Although this pit is due for good cleaning. Hey, let me know in the comments below if y'all wanna see me do a how to clean your pit video. Not sure if that's something you'd like to see. So we're gonna let these go for another hour or so. Probably just let the fire die, because these are looking real nice already, and then we'll pull them off. 4 hours of cold smoking later, these hot weens are coming off the pit, and they are looking absolutely fantastic. Nice and red, feeling nice and firm. So into an ice bath they go. And the whole point of the ice bath is to kind of stop the cooking process, shock the skins so they really shrink up to the meat, sealing in all the moisture. Ooh. And it's also a great opportunity to give our weens a nice clean, because as you know, everybody loves a clean weenie. All right, and that is what? 12 pounds of meat, a bunch of cheese, a bunch of bacon, a whole bunch of spices, binders, ice, you name it. All comes together to look like this. That is a whole bunch of sausage, if you ask me. Whole bunch of nice, clean, perfectly plump, ready to go sausage links. It's at this stage that most of these will go into vac seal packs, probably into the freezer for my next barbecue party or whenever I want to gift someone some sausage links, and they'll last a super long time. So, into the fridge these go overnight. Tomorrow morning for lunch, I'll probably smoke a few of these off, and we will see how they came out. I got this pit fired up to about 275, and now I'm gonna throw these bad boys on, and we're gonna see how they came out. Shouldn't take long, probably 25, 30 minutes. And there we have it, a beautiful, nice, very plump, good feeling sausage link. I must say, I'm very happy with the color and the texture on these so far. So, let's see how they look. Looking good, nothing wrong with that. So juicy. There's a nice piece of bacon, some jalapeno, some cheese. Woo! A little bit of everything in that bite. Can't go wrong with that. Oh, you're not even that dirty.
Cleaned up for the camera.
Nice.
Tell me about this sausage here.
This is a jalapeno popper sausage, meaning it is studded with jalapenos, cheddar cheese. We got some mozzarella cheese in there as well, and of course, an alarming amount of bacon.
Would you call this a sausage doubloon?
I would.
Oh,
that's tasty.
What kind of cheese we got in here, Papa?
You serious? I just told you that a moment ago.
Cheddar and mozzarella. Ooh, let's get some spice on the end.
Just enough spice, though.
Want to give us a sausage pop? Oh
my God.
That's a juicy one.
We got a bleeder. Good Lord. That's a good football sausage right there.
Absolutely.
This might be my favorite sausage I've had in a while. This definitely rivals the spicy Italian.
Ooh, the spicy Italian, that was a good one. Very juicy, nice and cheesy.
Ooh, I can definitely taste that bacon. Dude, get it. I'm definitely gonna be taking some of this home.
Jesus Christ. Just look at the grease coming out of that thing.
Oh.
Wow.
Would it be bad to say I kind of want to dip this in ranch? Like
yeah, I was gonna say, what
jalapeno
is the ideal condiment for this?
I mean, I think ranch would
Ranch
be
would
good
be
on
just
this.
to combat the heat a little bit.
It would piss someone off.
Absolutely. Yeah, bacon held up pretty well in there.
You really can't sense the texture of it at all.
Yeah.
It's just kind of the flavor.
The essence.
Yeah. I mean, you can't go wrong with putting bacon in a sausage.
Right.
It actually weirdly tasted good with the candy.
I'm all out of Hidden Valley, but there's always plenty of these little guys floating around.
Not as good as I thought it would be.
It's a lot of flavor. All right, y'all, and that is it. That is how to make some absolutely fantastic jalapeno popper sausage. I definitely recommend giving this one a try. That is one of the juiciest sausages I've ever made, and the flavor is hard to beat. Cheese, bacon, beef, you know it's gonna be good. But that being said, if you do give this recipe a try for yourself, be sure to let me know on Instagram at ChudsBBQ. I'd love to see what y'all are cooking. Let me know down in the comments below what you want to see me cook next. Big shout out to all the Patreon members. Thank you for supporting Team Chud. And until the next time I see you, please go cook something outside. Peace!